In 1884, the painter John Singer Sargent exhibited what he later referred to as, I suppose, the best thing I have ever done. His portrait of the American expat and Parisian socialite, Madame Amélie Gautreau. The French were scandalized, in part from the realism of the painting, in part by the precariously slipped strap off one shoulder, but mostly because it was assumed that, due to the cut of the dress, Madame Gautreau wouldn't have been wearing underwear. Scandalous.
If I take a hand and I ask you to consider my strap and my hand, and maybe I slide it under, oh no. And that's where you get that sense of possibility there. If that could fall off, the other one could fall off.
She knew that this painting was going to be seen and that it was going to create scandal, and she was like, let's still do it.
You think that was an accident? No. And what was that? That was her way of poking.
I think anytime something is supposed to be a certain place and you see it misplaced, it reminds you things could be different. The strap has this air of possibility to it.
I think there's something about that scares men, which all comes back to the idea of why men feel like they need to control women's dress.
There is just this huge history of women's bodies being regulated because women are often viewed as like property, and that they're meant to comport themselves in these certain ways that display their value.
I think a strong woman who owns her feminine nature, her body, it's a scary thing.
And it's the politics of the liberation of women that has changed pretty much everything. How we dress, how we present ourselves, how we think of ourselves.
You know, I'm like a fat naked lady. That's my job. I take my clothes off for money. For me to get to present like my body and what I do with like joy and respect and be excited and share that with people is super, super, super transgressive.
She was more than just a subject in this painting. She was a collaborator in the painting. It's one thing to have a woman's body be used without their consent, but the power behind a woman deciding, I want to do this, I want to stand in front of you naked, and I know you're going to enjoy it, like that's strength and parallel.
Look how far women have come. Look how it's all changed. You don't think that's not going to change? Of course it's going to change. I'll be dead, but it'll change.
Good for her for being ballsy enough to say, I know it's going to cause trouble and I'm still going to do it. Like a woman ahead of her time.